to. So we had the couple individuals who suffered some kind of gunshot wound in Chicago during a White Sox game, and it led to questions as to where this shot came from. You've got Jerry Reinsdorf, the chairman of the White Sox, saying that they don't think the gunshot came from within the stadium. And initial indication was that it may have been from a shot fired over a mile away outside of the stadium, up in the air, and then it came down and struck several people. So let's go ahead and take a look at the video here, which is kind of fascinating because, it's a wide shot, and I did zoom in quite a bit, but go ahead and pull this up so that you can see this if you're following along online. But you've got the wide shot. You don't really see much, but just above the State Farm sign on the left, in the middle of it, if you look up, you'll see a little bit of activity. You really can't see it on the wide shot, but of course with digital video, I was able to expand, enhance, and you can see here the moment when it seems to happen, and it's right in the middle of the screen. All of a sudden, a woman looks down, and then everybody starts looking down, and you can see some commotion, and there's uncertainty of what's going on, and then all of a sudden some people start waving down others down the aisle and trying to assess what exactly happened here, because I'm sure the report is that somebody suffered a gunshot to the wound, to the leg, and somebody else had a graze wound. So I'm sure that there was a fair amount of blood in that area. But once they assessed what happened, at least that somebody was bleeding, you have people trying to wave down authorities to come in and check that out. So that's, the video that at least has been shared online showing what exactly may have transpired there. And when you look, and let's take a look at it again, when you look, it doesn't really seem like people are alerted to a gunshot. It's just that one woman who initially has the kind of moment of realization that something happened. And again, watch this again. She sitting there fine. Oh, something happened. Nobody else looked around until she started looking down. So, yeah, there's some interesting things going on with this case, and it is baffling. But, of course, it wasn't just the baseball game that was allowed to continue. They finished the game. I think this happened sometime in the fourth inning, but they had a concert lined up that evening, an I Love the 90s concert. And one of the performers, Vanilla Ice, of all people, he took to social media on TikTok and shared these thoughts about, I guess encouraging words for Chicago.
To the city of Chicago, to the state of Illinois, to all of the organization of all baseball in general, just they didn't deserve this. And the White Sox facility is first class, second to none. The police did a great job, and definitely they're going to make secure, in the future for anything. I guarantee you that. You should see them. But they didn't deserve this. They're just playing baseball. They just showed up for their fans to play baseball, and they just didn't deserve this. So I hope that the city and the state and the country supports, the White Sox, because they are a great organization and a beautiful ballpark. You should see it. And the city of Chicago is amazing. I've been coming here since I was a kid, and I love it. I love the thriving of the city and just how, the energy and the pulse and the beauty and the museums and the so many restaurants and things to do here. So, I'm here now. Look at this. You got the beautiful lake out there. Come on, guys. This is Chicago. And I know you guys can pull together. I know it. So support the White Sox. Get out there, and we'll be back, and we'll do the I Love the 90s tour again right here. So thank you guys for the support, but asking you guys to support the White Sox. All right? All the best to you.
What's his real name?
Go Ninja Go.
I forget. It's like Van Winkle or something. I can't remember. Put a shirt on, Vanilla Ice. Put a shirt on. All right. So yeah, that was after the concert was canceled and the details started coming out about two individuals injured by a gunshot. And a lot of questions as to where it came from. You've got the White Sox chairman yesterday, Jerry Reinsdorf, laying out his understanding after talking with police and looking at all kinds of video evidence as well. And he lays out saying that, they don't think that the gunshot came from inside the stadium.
The thing I want to talk about is I spoke to Superintendent Waller from the police department last night, and he authorized me to tell everybody that regardless of what has been said in the past by anybody, the police have not ruled out the possibility or the probability that the gunshots the other night came from outside the ballpark. I don't want to comment on the specific details because the police are still investigating. They haven't come to a final conclusion. But we have done a lot of investigation. We have gathered a lot of facts. And without going into the detail, because I don't want to influence the police decision, but the fact is, based upon the information available to us, I see virtually no possibility that the gunshots came from within the ballpark. It's totally safe to be in this ballpark. I don't think a gun has ever been, has gotten past our security. And I think ultimately that will come out. And I'm hopeful that the police department will complete their investigation as soon as possible.
So you've got Reinsdorf saying that they don't believe that the shot came from within the ballpark. And a police statement that was released to media yesterday says, as Interim Superintendent Fred Waller said earlier this week, Chicago Police Department detectives are actively investigating every avenue surrounding the circumstances of how this shooting incident transpired. Updates will be provided as soon as they're available. Also, earlier in the week, you had the woman's lawyer who did she somehow sneak a gun in and do a desk pop? If you don't know what a desk pop is, it's a term used for a negligent police officer who is at his desk and all of a sudden shoots himself in the foot somehow. It's a desk pop. So is that what happened while sitting there in the stands? Again, if you review the video, you don't really see anybody else react to a gunshot, right? It's a pretty distinct sound. But when you watch that video and go back and check it out, that does not seem to be what happened. So again, looking closely, you've got people just sitting there enjoying the game, and then all of a sudden, the woman in the middle of the frame, she sees something happen. Oh my gosh, what happened? And then everybody else starts looking. So fascinating to see all this transpire, with the woman's attorney saying that she denies bringing a firearm into the stadium and further denies having anything to do with the discharge of a firearm at the stadium. We will continue to investigate this matter further and pursue justice on behalf of our client who sustained serious personal injuries as a result of the shooting. So the mystery continues for what happened at the White Sox stadium over last weekend. Well, I could go through a ton of other headlines of other shootings happening in Chicago and the range of age, people who are killed or injured by gunshots. It's staggering. It's day after day. It's not just on the weekends, and it's not just in highly populated areas like at a ball game. So we'll see what happens over this weekend.